Welcome back to the Yaka Digital Network.
Oh,
Today,
yeah.
we're diving into a book that
Yeah.
might just change
Yeah.
how you see the world and yourself.
Interesting.
It's called How to Control Fate Through Suggestion,
Mm-hmm.
written by Henry Harrison Brown all the way back in 1906.
Okay.
Now,
Yeah.
before you think this is just some dusty old self-help stuff,
Right.
hear me out.
Okay.
Brown presents a whole philosophy for understanding how our thoughts
Yeah.
actually create our reality.
That's right. It's a fascinating premise. Brown starts by laying out this idea of the unity of nature. He argues that instead of separate
Oh, wow.
opposing forces,
Okay.
the universe is fundamentally one unified energy or spirit.
So, like everything is connected on a deeper level.
Exactly.
I can see how that might tie into some modern ideas in science and philosophy.
Yeah.
Quantum entanglement, the interconnectedness of everything.
Exactly. It's intriguing how Brown was exploring these concepts over a century ago. And if you think about it, haven't there been times when you've felt incredibly connected to something bigger than yourself, maybe in nature,
Yeah.
during a moment of intense creativity, or even just a deep conversation with someone?
Yeah, for sure.
Brown would say those are glimpses into that fundamental unity he's talking about.
Okay, that's pretty mind-blowing. So where do we fit into this unified universe?
Right.
Are we just along for the ride?
Not at all. This is where Brown introduces the concept of man as spirit.
Okay.
He says we're not just physical bodies,
Uh-huh.
but also spiritual beings,
Interesting.
each a manifestation of that universal spirit with limitless potential.
Hold on. So he's saying we're basically mini versions of the universe
Yeah.
walking around.
In a way, yes. And this has some pretty radical implications. Think about it.
Wow.
If we're not limited to just our physical selves,
Right.
what does that mean for what we can achieve?
Yeah.
Brown even has this striking quote, "We are in manifestation what we think we are. Therefore, if we think we are body and mind, we shall manifest as body and mind. If we think we are worms of the dust, we shall live dust. If we think we are gods, as we are, we shall live as gods."
Wow, that's a powerful statement.
Yeah.
So how do our thoughts actually have this power to shape our reality?
Yeah.
Is it some kind of magic?
Well, Brown dives into the idea of vibration and sensation. He explains that everything in the universe, light, sound, emotions, is ultimately a form of vibration. And these vibrations create sensations within us.
So like the universe is speaking to us through vibrations,
That's right.
and we experience those vibrations as sensations.
Exactly. And this is where things start to get really interesting. Brown introduces the concepts of suggestion and autosuggestion.
Okay, I'm all ears. What's the difference?
Suggestion is any thought or idea that comes from outside, from other people, the media, even just our surroundings.
Yeah.
Autosuggestion, on the other hand,
Okay.
is when we consciously choose to accept a suggestion and turn it into a belief.
So we're constantly bombarded with suggestions.
Right.
But it's up to us to decide which ones we let take root and become our beliefs.
Yeah,
That's a lot of responsibility.
it is. And those beliefs have a powerful impact on how we see the world, the actions we take,
Yeah.
and ultimately the reality we experience. It all comes back to that quote from Brown. "As a man thinketh in his heart, so is he." Our thoughts really do create our reality.
That's both incredibly empowering and a little scary at the same time.
Right.
If our thoughts have that much power, how do we make sure we're thinking the right thoughts?
That's where the concept of affirmations and the will comes in. Brown believed we can consciously choose positive affirmations, statements that reflect the reality we want to create.
Right.
By repeating these affirmations with conviction and willpower, we can reprogram our subconscious minds and bring about positive changes in our lives.
So like if you keep telling yourself, I am confident, eventually you'll actually start to believe it.
Exactly. It's like planting seeds in the garden of your mind.
Interesting.
You choose the seeds, the positive affirmations, and you nurture them with your willpower. And over time, those seeds will sprout and grow, shaping your reality. But to see how this plays out in the real world, we need to look at some of the examples Brown gives of suggestion in action.
Okay.
And that's where things get really fascinating. Brown talks about hypnotists being able to induce pain or even paralysis in subjects just through the power of suggestion.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Just by telling them they'll feel pain or can't move?
Yeah.
That sounds pretty wild.
It does, doesn't it? And he goes on to describe healers who use suggestion to alleviate symptoms, even performing what appear to be surgeries without anesthesia.
Wow.
And the patients report feeling no pain.
I've heard stories about that, but it's always seemed hard to believe.
Right.
Though, come to think of it, that sounds a lot like the placebo effect.
Mm-hmm.
People experience real healing just because they believe they're getting a powerful treatment,
Yeah.
even if it's just a sugar pill.
That's a great connection.
Yeah.
The placebo effect is a powerful demonstration of the mind-body connection and the influence of belief on our physical well-being.
Right.
And think about all the research on the power of positive thinking.
Oh, yeah.
It's consistently linked to better health outcomes,
Uh-huh.
improved immune function,
Okay.
even faster recovery from surgery.
So if we believe we can heal, we're more likely to actually heal.
It certainly seems that way.
That's incredible.
And even in therapy,
Right.
approaches like cognitive behavioral therapy use suggestion to help people reframe negative thought patterns
Okay.
and create positive change.
Okay, so it's not just some fringe idea.
Yeah.
There's real scientific evidence to back this up. What else does Brown talk about?
One area he focuses on is fear.
Oh, okay.
He sees it as the root of many problems
Right.
and encourages readers to affirm fearlessness.
Hmm.
He even suggests doing the things that scare us as a way to overcome those fears.
That makes sense. If we keep avoiding things we're afraid of,
Right.
the fear just gets bigger in our minds.
Right.
But facing those fears head on can help us realize they're not as scary as we thought.
Exactly. It's about retraining our minds to respond differently to fear-inducing situations.
Yeah.
And by repeatedly affirming our fearlessness and acting accordingly, we can start to shift those ingrained patterns of fear.
So the takeaway here is that we have way more power than we realize.
Mm-hmm.
Our thoughts are constantly shaping our reality,
Yeah,
whether we're aware of it or not.
that's right.
It's kind of like we've been given this amazing tool,
Yeah,
the power of suggestion,
right.
but most of us don't even know how to use it.
And that's precisely what Brown is trying to teach us.
Okay.
By understanding how suggestion works and consciously choosing positive affirmations,
Right.
we can take control of our destiny and create a life that truly aligns with our deepest desires and values.
It's like he's handing us the keys to unlocking our full potential,
Yeah.
but it's up to us to decide whether we use those keys or just keep them in our pocket.
That's such a great analogy.
Yeah.
And it brings up an important point.
Okay.
What stands out to you the most from Brown's ideas? What's one thing you'd like to change in your life right now?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
I think what really hits home for me is this idea that we're not just victims of circumstance.
Right.
We have the power to choose our thoughts,
Yeah.
and those thoughts create our reality.
Uh-huh.
That's incredibly liberating.
It is, isn't it? And the beauty of it is that we can start making those choices right now.
Mm-hmm.
Even something as simple as choosing a positive affirmation to focus on throughout the day can have a ripple effect on our thoughts, feelings, and actions.
Okay, so if someone's listening to this and thinking, all right, I want to try this affirmation thing,
Yeah.
but where do I even begin?
Right.
What advice would you give them?
I think the first step is to identify an area in your life where you want to see a change.
Yep.
Maybe you want to feel more confident, be more successful in your career, or improve your relationships.
Ah,
Once you have a clear goal in mind,
right.
you can start crafting affirmations that reflect that desired reality.
So for example, if you want to feel more confident,
Yeah.
you could repeat an affirmation like, I am confident and capable.
Exactly. Or if you want to be more successful in your career,
Mm-hmm.
you could say something like, I am attracting abundance and success into my life.
Okay.
The key is to choose affirmations that resonate with you personally
Right.
and to repeat them regularly with conviction.
It's like planting those seeds in the garden of your mind
Yeah,
and then watering them with belief. That's such a powerful image.
it is, isn't it? And it reminds me of another important point. Brown wrote this book back in 1906.
Okay.
Imagine what he would say about the power of suggestion in today's world.
Huh.
We're constantly bombarded with suggestions from social media advertising and the news.
Right.
It's more important than ever to be aware of those influences and to consciously choose the thoughts we allow to take root.
That's a great point.
Mm.
We're living in an age of information overload, and it's easy to get swept away by the tide of external suggestions.
Right.
But if we can learn to harness the power of autosuggestion to choose our thoughts intentionally, then we can navigate this information landscape with more awareness
Yeah.
and create a reality that aligns with our values and goals.
Absolutely. It's about reclaiming our power and becoming the architects of our own lives.
Yeah.
And that's a message that's more relevant than ever in today's world.
This has been such a fascinating deep dive. I feel like I'm seeing the world in a whole new light. It's both exciting and a little daunting to realize how much power we have over our own realities. It is daunting, but think about it this way. It means we're not just stuck with whatever reality life throws at us. We can actually shape it. create something better.
Absolutely. Brown's book is like a wake-up call. It reminds us that we have a choice in how we respond to the world around us. We can let external circumstances dictate our thoughts and feelings, or we can consciously create our own internal reality, one that aligns with our values and dreams.
And that choice becomes even more crucial in today's world, where we're constantly bombarded with messages trying to influence our thinking.
It's true. The ability to choose to consciously direct our thoughts is more valuable than ever. It's the key to real freedom, to becoming the masters of our own fate, just as Brown suggests.
This deep dive has been eye-opening. Thanks for exploring the power of suggestion with us.
It's been a pleasure. Remember, you hold the power within to create the life you desire. Choose your thoughts wisely and never underestimate the power of a positive affirmation.
So true. And if you want to learn more about these ideas, check out the full text of How to Control Fate Through Suggestion by Henry Harrison Brown. You can find it on our website at www.yake.cc books or by sending a message to our WhatsApp number +256-770-730-170.
And be sure to share this episode with your friends and family who might benefit from these empowering ideas. Everyone deserves to know the incredible power they possess.
Thanks for tuning in to the Yaka Digital Network. Be sure to check back daily for new episodes. Until next time, keep those positive affirmations flowing, and remember, you are the architect of your own destiny.